In this video, we will discuss solving compound inequalities, specifically what we call double inequality. Okay, and you see these two problems, and they got so-called two inequalities. Again, that's what we call this double inequality. Actually, this double inequality is a short form of this. This one actually is equivalent to, that's a symbol for equivalent, -1 is less than or equal to 3x minus 1, and 3x minus 1 is less than 5. And because these two are same, we can kind of put together as single, what we call, I know it sounds like oxymoron, but single double inequality, all right? And we will discuss a lot more about inequalities, two inequalities joined together with the word and, all right? Okay, so let's just go through the mechanics of how to solve this. Solving this type of inequality, before, when we had just regular inequality, like a single inequality like this, or like an equation, we usually say there's a left-hand side, right-hand side of equation or inequality. Like this is a left-hand side of inequality, this is the right-hand side. With a double inequality like this, actually we got three sides. We have the left, the right, and the middle. Okay? All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, and the basic idea here is the same in that we are trying to isolate this x. All right, and in order for us to do that, we have to remove this subtract 1, and we do that simply by, well, the opposite, adding 1 plus 1. But remember, we have now three sides. We just did plus 1 in the middle, plus 1 to the left, plus 1 to the right. We got to do to all three sides. Then what we'll end up with is -9 less than or equal to 3x is less than 6. That's what we have. All right. And, well, like a usual equation or inequality, now we have to divide by 3 in order for us to isolate that x. Then we end up with a -3 less than or equal to x less than 2. Okay, what this means is this x is all numbers between -3 and 2, including -3, but not including 2. Okay? Okay, I'm assuming that you understand the meaning of those two inequalities. All right, sometimes some teachers let you stop there, but sorry, you do need to, in my class, you do need to go a little bit more. Some teachers will accept answer written like this: set of all x such that x is between -3 and 2, and basically just copying down that last line. Okay, this is what we call set notation, but what I want you to get used to is use what is called interval notation. Okay, interval notation just basically tells you the first number and the last number of so-called the beginning and the end. So this same notation, actually same set, this is equivalent to this interval notation. Starts at -3 and ends at 2. The two beginning and end is separated by comma. And special symbol for inequality, here we are including -3, so we use bracket. We call that closed endpoint. 2 is not included, so we use parentheses. All right, so these two are identical. And in my classes, I'm asking you folks to write your answer in this form. All right. Okay, second problem. Got a little bit more involved, mainly because of that fraction. And like before, when we see a fraction, I like to usually get rid of fraction. And here, if I multiply all three sides by -5, so if I subtract this by -5, do that to all three sides. Okay, but remember, we are dealing with inequalities, and hope you remember, when you multiply or divide by negative number for any inequality, the inequality symbol must be reversed. Okay, so that's what has to happen. All right, so -5 times -2 is +10. In the middle part, the fraction disappears, which should just have x plus 2, and the right hand side should have -30. Okay, and all we need to do is subtract 2 on all three sides. And what we end up happening here is this is 8 is greater than x greater than or equal to negative 32. All right. Okay. And I know that looks a little bit awkward because this kind of seems to indicate 8 is like less than negative 32. No. Remember, these symbols are reversed. That means all numbers between negative 32 and 8. So you kind of have to read from right to left, which we are not accustomed to. So this answer can be written as either, instead of all x, I'm going to rewrite using the negative 32. That is actually same statement. Or in interval notation, negative 32, comma 8 and open. All right.